All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Welcome to React and Chill. On this channel, there's two things I like to do: sit on my butt and listen to good music. But I'm only doing one of those things here today, sitting on my butt. I'm not really listening to music. I'm actually listening to an interview with Amira Willighagen. This was requested by Thomas, and it was like, you don't have to watch this if you don't want to do a reaction to it, but please watch it at least. He meant to say, watch it in private, at least that. But I was like, you know what? Let's react to it right here. Let's do that. I've been on this journey for a while now, and in this interview, we're going to get a little bit as to why Amira sings. Now, I don't know a whole lot about her, other than from what you guys have told me, and a lot of very big essays, big comments, which I do read. Do I remember everything I read? Probably not. Hopefully cutting back on the alcohol will help that. But I want to say, if I remember this correctly, it has to do with her grandmother and her father. Is that right? Are those two people that are going to be mentioned? Let's find out. Let's go and put this on the screen here and press the play button and get into this thing.
The talent I've received is like a gift from God.
I should have mentioned God. God is credited here.
I was a little girl and I was always watching the show Holland's the Talent, and my dream was actually to just be on TV. And my family is very musical. My dad plays the organ and piano, and my mother plays the violin and the flute, and my brother plays the violin as well. But I didn't really play an instrument, so I felt like the odd one out, and I wasn't really in the mood to learn a whole new musical instrument. And I started singing because I've always loved listening to classical songs and opera songs, which is a bit odd for a small girl, but our family was raised very classical, and I've just been attracted to that.
Wow.
One day, if you stand up out of your bed, it's just like a normal day, going to school and everything. But then the next day, all these other things like cameras and fame and big dresses, performances, and the whole showbiz world was involved. It's really like a different world out there, the showbiz industry. And it was, at the beginning, very hard to get used to because we went to these fancy hotels.
Okay.
It has really taken me and my family to a lot of places. It's like a big world tour in my head. We went to Las Vegas for the burgers and the big lights, and we went to Hong Kong and to New York and to Rome, Paris, and just a lot of places. And it was really a very nice experience to be able to go to places and see things, and traveling with my family. And yes, it's been a wonderful journey. The idea of beginning a goodwill organization already started when I was 7 years old, because my mother is born in South Africa, and we went to visit South Africa a lot. And then I saw the big difference how the townships look here. I was like, what is this? And my mom said that's where some people have to live. It was just so shocking for me coming from the Netherlands. I'm a kid and I know how nice it is to run with your friends into a playground. And then I decided next time I come here, I want there to be something to play with for all the kids. It would be so cool to make playgrounds in South Africa. My fans actually helped me to begin my own foundation, Gelukskinders. Without the support from the fans, it wouldn't have been possible at all. All their donations and all the things they buy from the web shop, it's just amazing.
Oh, that's so nice.
it's like when you have a dream in your heart and it is God's intent for you to fulfill it. So now it just makes me so happy to think about the children that are able to escape from their abusive families and their nasty surroundings and poverty, to go and play in playgrounds. The idea of children not being able to play is just heartbreaking.
All right.
My foundation also has given in this lockdown time. There were a lot of families who had a really rough time because they lost their jobs or weren't able to work. And so we also funded a lot of money that the fans also donated for my birthday. I funded that to give food packets to families. I see it as the talent I've received is like a gift from God, and the way I can give it back to Him is to use it the right way. So that's what I've been trying to do since 2013.
I want to thank you all my fans for all the support and the donations for my foundation.
And it cuts off right there. Okay. So not only did we get some insight as to why Amira Willighagen sings, we got a little bit about her charity as well. You know, Amira Willighagen seems like someone that has her heart in the right place. She did say here that she recognizes that it is a gift from God. I know many of you have mentioned that she seems to be like a godsend, and I think you guys almost mean that in a literal sense. And I understand. I do. It's very humbling to hear. Well, not humbling for me, but it's nice to hear how humble she is about her gift, that she knows she has an extraordinary talent. And it almost seems like, so her dad has a background in music and her mom has a background in music, but they played instruments. They weren't singers. But because they're playing instruments, she didn't really want to play an instrument. She didn't want to learn that. But she wanted to learn how to sing. Now, imagine if she wanted to learn how to sing and she didn't have like the capacity or the gift to be able to sing the way she does now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some people who don't really have like that vocal skill, right? It's a combination of like learning it, training yourself, you know, and also being gifted with the ability there a little bit there. Of course, you gotta hone it. You gotta make sure you develop it, right? You grow it. Very, very touching. Yeah. So I was right about the dad, the grandmother. I think I might have been thinking of another singer. I think so. So her mom was involved, and then she started learning how to sing. They listened to a lot of opera, a lot of, raised very classical. Okay, so she had that around her. And talked a little bit about what it was like to get into like showbiz and that stuff. And that stuff could be scary. I can't even really fathom what it would be like as a kid, you know? As a parent, I'd be worried about my kids getting involved in showbiz in any sort of capacity, knowing about the vultures and the vipers that are in the industry. I take it sounds like her family was very protective of her, which is good. Seemed to have a good time traveling. Went to Vegas for the burgers. Okay. Vegas for the burgers. I've been to Vegas. I don't remember the burgers. I did try a Ramsey steak. It's all right. Honestly, I think I could make a better steak. But yeah, she was able to travel and do fun things that she liked to do and see the world like that. And then she was able to give back to a community that she found that could use a lot of help. And I mean, honestly, they can. And she saw how the kids lack really a really good playground. And and that's good. I mean, that's helpful. Being able to have a nice environment where you can play around and stuff like that. That's very nice. So nice charity work right there. So really just a nice interview, a nice little slice of Amira's life here. Of course, curious about other aspects, like, well, are there more details as to like how you developed your singing, like, because it's so like quick? And tell me a little bit more about the showbiz part, about the charity part, but it was a nice little summary. All right. Thank you, Thomas, for the recommendation. And if you guys have any other recommendations, feel free to send them in using the link down below, and I will get to them eventually.